You may enjoy all of the elements of Mars today, but it was very different when it was first founded. Mars was founded during the height of the Cold War, and this had a lot of impact on Martian societies throughout history. During the Cold War, the United States and the Soviet Union became engaged in a nuclear race. The United States was the first to develop nuclear weapons through the Manhattan Project during World War II, but when the Soviet Union successfully tested their first atomic bomb in 1949, the rest of the world was shocked. None of the other countries knew that the Soviet Union was so far along in their development of nuclear weapons. Each side spent billions of dollars building up stockpiles of nuclear weapons during this time period, so much so that by 1961 there were enough nuclear bombs built to destroy the world. Many of the first settlers on Mars left Earth for fear of being caught in the atom war. Bradbury wrote of the taxpayer, explaining his fear of the war and foreshadowing to the explosion of Earth. Along with the nuclear arms race, the Soviet Union and the United States also competed in a space race during this era. Citizens of both countries believed that the outcome of the race would show who had the best science, technology, and economic system. On October 4, 1957, the Soviet Union placed the first successful satellite into orbit. This gave them a lead in the space race. Americans successfully launched their first satellite 4 months later. The Soviets also won the race for putting the first man into space. In April 1961, Yuri Gagarin was the first man to orbit the Earth in the spacecraft Vostok 1. The U.S. launched the Freedom 7 3 weeks later. It wasn't until a year later when the first American orbited the Earth. The Americans were embarrassed at being behind in the space race, so they launched the Apollo program. Their goal was to put the first man on the moon. Along with the Apollo program, they launched the Gemini program to develop technology to use on the Apollo spacecraft. Human colonization of Mars is a portrayal of advancing space technology and the space race on Earth because all of the expeditions arrived on Mars via rocket ships. At the start of the Cold War, the Second Red Scare occurred. This is a term used to describe the United States' fear of communism. Both during and after the war, there was a strong anti-communist attitude in the U.S. This led to censorship in the United States and affected the Martian society by the creation of the Usher House.